coming to the dome now. Spit on them bars now. Name around now.
You ready?
Is that good bars?
Those bars were fire, bro. It needs a round of applause. That's our fire there. Bishop MC Caleb Belfort CB was popping.
What's popping? What is popping? Brand new whip.
Brand new whip. You're hopped in?
I do not have no whip. Well, I do have a whip, but it ain't not brand new.
True.
It's the best whip ever. I'll tell you what.
It is the best whip ever because it takes you from point A to point B, my friend.
That's right.
Hey.
Point A to point B. Sometimes when I feel like going to sleep.
Let's go. All right, so here we are, boys and girls. We're back. Caleb Belfort is in the building once again. Let's go. I think he deserves another. And I'm excited to unveil a gift that was given to me by a very talented, and gifted. To Caleb saw it earlier. But should I unveil it now or at the end? At the end of the episode, should I keep the?
Let's do it at the end of the episode.
Yeah, let's.
So that way they have an excuse to
watch it to the very end. But there's a special.
But they can always fast forward.
Right. but yeah, I'll unveil it at the very end. It has some weight to it,
yeah,
so
nice.
that sucker is really nice. I'm probably gonna plop it right here in the center.
It's alright. You work out, so you can
when I unveil it. But how you been, bro?
I've been good and trying to be good. I don't know. That don't make no sense. But good, trying to be good. I would say God has been blessing me tremendously, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, life is good. Life is good. You know,
Life is always
through
good.
my lows a little bit. Life is still good. You know, so I can't complain, man.
Yeah. Even when I find myself complaining, I gotta like shift my perspective and realize how blessed I am, you know.
Right.
And I've been and because you know me personally, and you've very intentional with getting to know me deeper and deeper. It seems like every day your intentionality is like crazy. How you're so intentional about just checking up on me or checking up on people, because I know you do this with all your close friends. But you check up on me, you text me, you call me, you pray for me. I mean, you do it all, bro, and it's very encouraging. And as you know, obviously you know the storm or the season that I'm in right now. Never in a million years that I think I would be walking in this season, you know. But I'm very grateful, blessed to have you and others, a short list of others, just to encourage me, bless me, text me, pray over me. It means the world to me. So I really want to just say that off rip, that very blessed, very grateful for you, bro. So I do appreciate it. I had a pretty decent weekend. I don't know if I talked about this with Chris on my last episode. For those that missed the last episode, check out the last episode with me and Chris, aka Don Johnson, one half of Collective Society. It's a local hip hop and trap Spanish group. We talked about limitations that we set and how God doesn't set those limits or ceilings and stuff like that. So go check that out if you haven't listened to it. But today, me and Caleb are gonna kind of dive into something that was kind of resonated in my heart while I was kind of, praying and meditating and just doing like general reading, not necessarily scripture, although I was reading a lot of scripture this week, as Caleb knows, because he texts me literally, yo, did you read? And I'm like, yes, Caleb, I read this morning. But just general reading, because I do casual readings too. I just do like random readings and stuff. I read passages. I read different inserts on different secular books that I do have. And something just kind of nudged my heart, and it was when I was reading this Nipsey Hussle bio that I have on a hardcover, and Nipsey Hussle in the hip hop community and just the pop culture community was a very renowned, not only hip hop artist in general, but like a philanthropist. Like he did so much for his community. He did so much for the culture. He was definitely one who was just kind of encouraging people to like think outside of the box and remind people that there's a higher power outside of us. And you know, his family is split with Muslim and Christianity, so he believed in God, and he always would talk about it, and he was not too hesitant to do so, to talk about God and what God has done in his life. And unfortunately, it was after his passing that people started taking a liking of Nipsey Hussle, and it was very unfortunate. So a lot of people would download his albums, download his content, download all his old stuff that before he even broke out to be this hip hop megastar. And it's unfortunate that people, especially like in American culture, we tend to, and I'm guilty of it too, like we tend to give people their flowers when they're gone. You know what I'm saying? We should celebrate people how we celebrate them on their birthdays rather than waiting until we're at a funeral, while we're at a wake/funeral. And I think all of us have been in that. I know I've been there more than one occasion. I've been, sadly to say, I've been in way too many funerals, way too many wakes, to young people just passing away due to an ailment, a drug overdose, or an accident, and things of that nature. So I've been in a fair share of different funerals and wake services and stuff like that. And when you hear people like just get on the panel, they speak so highly of that person. It's like they're literally celebrating their life and, you know, kind of expressing how they feel about this individual and so on and so forth. And I'm like, wow, like, unfortunately, this individual is not here in the flesh to hear all these nice things and all these great things about them. And I don't know, that just kind of resonated in my heart. I just kind of wanted to kind of talk about that, see what we can do, maybe change the culture a little bit and start the conversation now and say, hey, why wait till people are gone to give them their flowers? We should start giving people's flowers while they're still here. Give people flowers while they can still smell them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, just real quick, I did get some prayer requests, so let's do those real quick, because I haven't done those in a while, and I keep asking you guys to do it. So here we are. Okay, so we got a couple. These are all anonymous, so it'll be nameless. Here's a mom from Philadelphia. She is going to remove a cyst in her intestines, and she wants prayer for peace, comfort, and overall healing. So definitely,
that's awesome.
Definitely,
yeah, listener from Philadelphia. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. And then I have a gentleman from West Palm Beach, so local gentleman from West Palm Beach. He recently got a divorce. Not by choice, asking for peace over my family. Wow. So that's also, you know, I know how that feels. I mean, I never been divorced. I never dealt with that type of level of heartbreak, but I've been dealing with heartbreak recently, so I could just imagine. So yeah, prayers over that. And then lastly, from New Jersey. Let's go. So there's another gentleman from New Jersey. He recently got laid off from his job and is interviewing this week for 3 different jobs. So he's asking or requesting for discernment and strength and wisdom for his upcoming season that God has for him. So yeah, so definitely we prayed over that. And I obviously read these last night, so I definitely took some time out to pray over these, because I know that those matter. No matter how small, how big your requests are, there's no such thing as too small of a prayer or too big of a prayer for the God that we serve. Amen. So so definitely prayed over that. So shout you guys out, and just keep them coming. For those who are new to the show, you can follow us on social media at Instagram at kingdomtalks_pod on Instagram. I'll leave the links on the description below, and I'll even leave the link for Mr. Caleb Belfort. If you guys want to reach out to Caleb, you guys can reach out to him too. The description. The links are going to be in the description. If you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be on the description down below. So, what else happened? I watched Thor, the new Thor movie. That was dope. Very liked it a lot. I think it gave me Thor Ragnarok vibes because of the way the comedic side of it. It was very comical. Very Thor-like, Thor Ragnarok-like. I did like Thor Ragnarok a lot. This to me felt like a Thor Ragnarok on steroids. Like, it was just so much going on. Christian Bale did an amazing job playing God the Butcher. He did an amazing job doing that character. So it was definitely... the Guardians of the Galaxy cameo was pretty cool. I liked it, the way they implemented it. But overall, I give it, out of 5 stars, I give it like a 4.5 stars. I think that was definitely entertaining. It stuck with the timeline. The after credit scenes were pretty dope. I like how this.
The after credit scene?
Yeah, I did, because it left you like hanging on the cliff, like, oh, he really didn't. And I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but I just like the way they introduced the Greek mythology of it all, like Zeus and Zeus's son Hercules and stuff like that. So I did like that aspect of it, because the Marvel Comics did introduce Zeus as a Marvel comic book character and Hercules as a Marvel comic book character. So I like the fact that they stayed true to that as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe is concerned. So I really did like that.
You gave away the ending credit scene, but it's fine.
Okay. So we're just going to breeze past that. But for those who didn't see it, I'm sure you guys saw it. This movie came out 2 weeks ago, guys. If you guys haven't seen it, shame on you. Shame on you.
Disney about to sue us.
Speaking of Disney, Disney's coming out with some jams, bro. We got...
They're alright. I'm not a fan
Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's good. I was not a fan of
Miss Marvel?
Credit scene.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like, looking at how Marvel is now, I don't know. I'm waiting to see how Black Panther 2 does. How, like, just the other movies. They got Blade coming out and stuff like that. But this Thor the ending credit scene was very disappointing, because it felt like, okay, MCU don't know where they're going now. As in, like, what I mean by that is, like, I felt like, this is my opinion. You don't quote me, but this is just an opinion. I felt like what happened was that Infinity War and Endgame just became such a booming movie.
Yeah.
And then I felt like they looked at the drawing board, was like, oh snap. We didn't, like, I know they expected the movie to go great, but I don't think they expected it to be like a boom, like this was bigger than they can ever imagine. Yeah. And I feel like they're looking at the drawing board, is like, okay, so what do we do now? Because it's like, it's almost like,
I think when they looked at it, they were like, okay, this is the opportune moment to introduce the multiverse. And I think that's why they went that direction with Doctor Strange's movie.
Yeah, because that was whack though.
Yeah. And I think introducing different characters in the multiverse kind of opens a Pandora's box of different realities and different scenarios that could be entertaining, because a lot of the fandom wants to see certain characters that maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago Marvel couldn't unveil because of copyright infringements.
But it's just one of those things. It's kind of like they're starting to. I'm not saying starting to become like them, but it feels like it's getting there. It's like they're starting to become like the DC comics. Right. Because if you look at every ending credit scene, back then every ending credit scene had a meaning. Right. It was like they had, like, we're introducing this character, and then this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna join together. You know what I mean? Like the only time it stopped like that is really with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And for y'all who saw Venom, I was disappointed. I mean, not Venom, Morbius. I was disappointed at that because the end of credit scene with that is like Morbius is not beefing with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck? You know what I mean? So I feel like, in my opinion, I don't know. I'm not in the MCU world. I'm not really in the writer. I'm not Mr. Kevin. But I do feel like it's like Infinity War and Endgame just became booming. It just did a boom, and it shocked the whole, the whole world. And now it's kind of like, so how can we suppress that? Yeah, and that's hard.
And I think it's the only way that they could get better and bigger is by introducing more and more characters. Because even in this new Spider-Man movie, where we saw Tobey and Andrew Garfield and them playing Spider-Mans from different universes, there was also a Daredevil cameo in that Spider-Man movie, and that was the Daredevil from the Netflix series. So it's like they're just going, like, I feel like it's a limitless ways of introducing different cameos, characters. The She-Hulk series is coming out next month is going to be bananas, because Bruce Banner's going to be in it, Daredevil's going to be in it, Jessica Jones is rumored to be in it, and she's another Marvel Netflix character that the MCU picked up. So the She-Hulk is going to also have its moments where they're going to introduce and intertwine different characters that were collaborating in the comic books, because She-Hulk, there was Daredevil in there. On the Daredevil comic books, you saw Jessica Jones do cameos, Kingpin, all these different characters. So you saw Kingpin in the Hawkeye series. So it's like a lot of integrated characters that make up the MCU world. So it's like it's kind of crazy where they're going, and it's hard to keep up. But like I feel like with every big movie, like we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with Fantastic Four, like what they're going to do in that movie, how they're going to introduce characters, and how it's going to like mesh into the timeline. And then Captain Marvel, that's coming out next year. And then we have what other big Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. That's going to be a big blockbuster movie. So there's a lot yet to be seen and yet to like unveil. And then we have Deadpool, who is now a MCU identity, or entity, I should say. So what they're going to do with Deadpool and how they're going to implement Deadpool in the MCU. So it's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. So I'm excited for that. And I know that we just spent 17 minutes on MCU and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But yeah, I just felt like I wanted to share that a little bit. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about what we mainly came here to discuss. And that's, our perspective, our take on just encouraging people, celebrating people, championing people too. Like whatever our friends do, I'm a big supporter. So whatever Caleb does, I'm supportive. I'm championing him in anything and everything that he does. I'm not going to wait till Caleb is gone for me to be like how great of a friend he was, how great of a youth pastor he was, how great of a individual he was with this, that, and the third. Like, I'm not going to wait until Caleb is gone for me to say that. And a lot of us, I know we get caught up in our own lives and our own busyness that, we forget to, celebrate people. And, because it doesn't necessarily, we don't have to wait for their birthdays. I don't have to wait for your birthday to celebrate you, to champion you, to encourage you, to support you in everything and anything that you do. And I just want to, for the listeners out there, I just want to kind of like push that narrative. Like I want to push that narrative. Like, yo, if you have a friend that's in college that wants to be a writer, like, man, champion him, celebrate him, encourage them. A simple text does so much. You know what I'm saying? If there's a person that that's trying to start a ministry of whatever kind, or a nonprofit, like champion them, celebrate them, give them their flowers while they're still here. So that's basically the main conversation, the narrative that I want to push with my brother Caleb here is just give people their flowers while they're still here, while they still can smell them. We don't necessarily have to wait for life to take its course because we're all going to be gone. I hate to like get a little morbid right now, but we all have due dates. God only knows that due date. You know what I'm saying? You have a due date. I have a due date. Everybody has a due date. So that's why we have to like, take every day like it's a gift. As like it's a present, because it's literally the present that you're living is a gift from God. So what more can you do with that gift but to encourage people, encourage your friends, champion your friends in whatever they're doing. If they're into sports and they're trying to make it in the big leagues or in the football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be, like we have to support them. And now with the social media world, like share their stuff. If they're content creators, share their stuff, guys. If they're, authors or book writers, like share their links. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's something that, people should be more aware of and not to sound too morbid, but why wait till someone is gone? You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I think for me, I will never forget. I was actually watching I Am Athlete podcast, and Antonio Brown was the guest appearance.
Who was?
Antonio Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Antonio AB was the guest appearance. He was basically, what the story about him was what happened when he was playing against the New York Jets, and then he got hurt.
Yeah,
he was playing through his injuries. And,
he made headlines for sure.
Yeah, that dude went headline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when he went headline, he stopped at the I Am Athlete podcast and basically explained everything.
Because he's friends with
what's
his name?
Chad Okosinko.
Yeah, Chad. He's friends with Chad. He's also friends with
I don't know if he's friends with B. Marshall like that.
Okay, because I know they're familiar with each other.
But I know because AB's from Miami and then Chad's from Miami. I know Tim and Chad are like buds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. He was on that podcast.
He was on that podcast, and one of the things that AB said was like, "Hey man, let's give our flowers to this person, and notice everybody who's giving his flowers to were all alive." And when that happened, I was just like, "Yo, why don't we give our flowers to people that are alive?" Like, and I think so many times is that because the reason why we don't want to give flowers to people who are alive because we're so competitive. It's our competitive nature. Like, for example, like I'll be transparent. Like when I was a youth pastor at the time, I wanted to make sure that we had every big event. I wanted to make sure our big event was like, yo, y'all see what's happening at that church? Like, you know what I mean? Because that was me. That like I wanted to be that guy. Like I never wanted to give Journey Church, the student pastor, their flowers. I never wanted to give Christ Fellowship student pastor their flowers. Victory Church or any other church that were doing great things with student ministry. Why? Because I wanted them to know like, yo, like I could keep up with you. Right. And when I heard Antonio Brown was saying that, it hit me. I was like, wow, we don't give people their flowers. And I think that we wait till they're dead to give them their flowers. Like, we should not wait that long. Yeah. We should give them their flowers now. You know? And there are people in your life that you need to give your flowers to. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like I have friends right now who are very talented friends, right? Who have so much gifting in their life, who are so great, so pure. They're talent business owners. They have the potential to be talent business owners. They have the potential to be talent singers. They have the potential to be talent writers, podcast person. You name it all. But sometimes people don't want to take that next step. So people don't want to take that step because they have fear. Fear of rejection, fear of lack of confidence, fear of this. Like, we'd be like, oh my gosh, we have this idea, but then we don't go. Man, if I can tell you how many times people told me not to do the Hoop event, it will blow your mind. How many times people told me, no, don't do that event, it ain't gonna work out. And what's so funny, the same people that doubted me is the same people that want to play in the game. Yeah. I'm just like, bro, when you doubted me 5 years ago not to do this Hoop again? Right. And then now it's like one of the main things that's talked about. Right. And now you want to play and be a part. But it's one of those things. It's like, I think so many times, in order to get our flowers, we just have to take the step. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is, man. Like for example, I don't want to wait to tell Javi when he's 6 feet under, man, Javi, your podcast was amazing. Why not tell Javi now, bro, your podcast is amazing? And yes, there are 5 different love language. And not a lot of people like hearing word of affirmation, but I believe word of affirmation is so important to everybody.
To everybody,
You know what I mean? I believe there's somebody needs to hear, like why wait for Pedro to pass away and be like, yo, Pedro, your barbershop is the best barbershop in Palm Beach County. Why wait for that?
Yeah.
Why wait for me to be like, man, like, my friend needs to do this, to release this, to do this. Why wait? Why not do it now? And it's so many times we hold ourselves as an excuse and be like, man, we can't do it because this is the season. We can't do it because we don't have the funds. We can't do it because we don't have this. We can't do it. Like, no. Like, let's do it now. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, yes, I get it. You're old. Do it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look in the Bible how old people were that was being used in the Bible. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, when you feel like there's somebody that's doing something great, even something that's better than you, bro, I know tons of youth pastors that are way better than me. And you know what I do, man? I make sure I give them their flowers, man. Like, bro, like, man, like, yo, Pastor Connor, like, Pastor Albert, you know, who is an extraordinary youth pastor, bro. I literally be like, bro, like, you're amazing. Like, Albert, if you're listening, bro, you're literally an incredible youth pastor, pastor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shouts to Albert.
Like, there are amazing pastors.
Yeah.
Who are student pastors. Are so many. Like, Tim Summers is literally one of my friends. He might not ever watch this or ever listen to, but Tim Summers from Elevation Church. Yeah. Bro, that man, how he is as a youth pastor is incredible. Yeah. And I give him his flowers. But guess what? Like, will he ever hear this? Maybe not. But guess what? I want to give him his flowers. Yeah. Because he deserves that. And a lot of youth pastors who are here in Palm Beach County, like, deserves their flowers, man. Because the reason why I say this, man, because you don't know the sacrifice that's behind the scene, right, for us to get where we at, man. And like because I'm not a stranger to ministry. I've done ministry in the past, and you obviously has done ministry and done youth ministry, and like we have we don't know exactly what all these guys are sacrificing, but like we have a level of understanding of what sacrifices need to be done to do those things that you're called to do by God. So it's like, okay, I may not know the specifics of what Albert or Tim or Clay or whoever, right? But we do have an understanding that it does take some type of sacrifice. So because we have that understanding, bro, let's celebrate them. Yeah. Let's champion. Let's DM them. Yeah. Just be like, bro, that clip that you released on your reel, fire. Yo, keep going, keep pushing, keep making history, bro. Be a legend. Because I think like all of us who are passionate about doing the things that we do, passionate about the things that you want to do, the things that you're currently doing, your nonprofit, you know what I'm saying? Like those things need to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? Those things need to be talked about amongst your friends and amongst everyone that, that crosses your path. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just because maybe you're feeling or internalizing some stuff and some funk and some spiritual stuff, that junk that you haven't uncluttered. And sometimes we do get some clutterness in our spirit that gets us in a bitter mood, or gets us in like this place where we don't want to interact with people or engage with people. We just want to isolate because we're just dealing with a heart issue, and I mean not physical heart, but like a spiritual heart issue. And sometimes when you don't know how to deal with those spiritual heart issues, you project it on people. Exactly. So whatever it is that you're feeling because you're not loving yourself, you project it on other people. So because you're not loving yourself currently because of the heart issue that you have, you're going to look at Caleb and go, man, I don't care what he's doing. But it's not really Caleb that you're really hating on. It's really you because you're mad that you didn't do it.
Right, or you're mad that someone else is happy. It's because you're dealing with an internal heart issue. Yeah. Same thing with a relationship. Yeah. If a guy is dealing with an internal heart issue and they've been dating for not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, 11 months to a year, and then he's dealing with some stuff that he hasn't really identified early on, and now he's getting bitter, and now he's doesn't have the capacity to love his partner, what is he going to do? He's going to project this junk and the stuff onto his partner, and what does that do? It opens the window to look at their partner with all their flaws.
Yeah.
And then they start focusing on their underlining stuff like, oh, I don't like how she chews her food. Oh, I don't like how she's always high energy in the mornings. Oh, I don't like how her personality is in the afternoons when she gets back from, like, you start like nitpicking and start taking apart your partner because of the stuff that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not choosing love. You're choosing bitterness and resentment because that's what you're feeling inside of yourself.
Yeah.
So because you're in that place, right, you're going to project that on your partner, because love is not a feeling. It's a choice. God wasn't feeling that he needed to go to Calvary and hang on a cross. He had to make that choice. Right. So love is a choice, and it's no different with us. Like, if I love you, bro, I'm choosing to love Caleb. I'm choosing to be his friend. I'm choosing to encourage him. I'm choosing to love him. When you're in a relationship, I'm choosing to love my partner. I'm choosing to love her. You know what I'm saying? It's a choice that you make. So when you can't make that choice any longer, then you're going to find yourself not wanting to be with that person because of the stuff that you're dealing with internally.
Right.
And then you're going to be like, you know what? I feel that we're not meshing. I feel like we're just not in the right page. I feel like I just need to step away and do my own thing. Right. And sometimes that's usually what breakups consist of. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a friend. It's like you're no longer meshing with your friend. You know, your buddy is high on his mountaintop. You're in the valley and you're feeling a kind of way and you don't know how to navigate through that, and you're feeling resentful. You're feeling bitter. You're going to be like, yo, the heck with Caleb. You go let him do his thing. Like, I don't want to be his friend anymore.
Right.
And that's not indicative of what you're doing. It's what he's dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lot to do with what you are dealing with internally.
I think people have no idea. I'll tell you this. This is me being real. What I don't like is that we can't support one another. Mm. Like, for instance, I'm gonna use him as an example. He doesn't know, but Franklin, right? Pastor Franklin. That is watching. Franklin has,
you know, he hates it when you call him pastor.
He hates it when I call him that. Franklin has like about 500 different companies. I just do that over exaggerate, but he has DC Investment and he has Co-Air, right? And when he told me about that he's releasing a T-shirt and stuff like that, I was just like, bro, I'm in, I'm game.
Yeah.
You know why? Because yes, you are supporting the brand, but you are supporting him.
Right.
Right. And so many times, one of the things I was mainly hearing when I told people that, oh, it costs this much to buy a shirt, I'm like, it costs this much? I'm like, how much does it cost that Gucci belt that you wear? How much is it that you're wearing that purse? How much is it that you're wearing that necklace, that earrings? Or how much is that nails? Like we're always wanting to support other established business, but we're not willing to support the people who are us. That's right next to us, right? Like,
which I find crazy.
Which is it bothers me because I'm just like, hold up, why not support Genesis of her makeup company? But you're gonna go spend a makeup company and out on Boca for like what, $800, $900? I don't know if it doesn't cost that much. Don't quote me on that. But you're willing to do that. But why not support one of your own sisters, one of your own support person that you can support right then and there? Like nails, like Roxy is doing a nail company. Why not support them? It's and people always wonder why we don't get each other flowers. It's because we're never trying to support each other. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's so important, man. Support each other. Be there for each other, man. It's like, hey, you know what? That t-shirt costs $35. I'm paying $35. Mm-hmm. You know what? Just like how this the whole board thing that this man just created to build. You heard me asking questions. I'm like, bro, how's this? How you do this? How you do this? Oh, it costs this much. Man, I'm willing to support. You know what I mean? Because if he's thriving, then guess what? Then our community's gonna be thriving. Like, then the next person's gonna thrive. The next person's gonna thrive, and then I'm gonna thrive, right? Like those are the things that works, man. But but the reason why we will never give flowers to each other, because we're always trying to look at each other as competition, but never look at each other like, no, like, let's support each other, man.
Yeah.
My friend Tivo got a barbershop in his apartment. Let's support him, man.
Yeah.
Like Zeke is doing speaking engagements, is a motivational speaker. How about we start reposting Zeke encouraging videos? How about we, like, you know, if we know a buddy that deals with speaking engagement, how about we send Zeke to him? Like, these are the stuff that we talk about. Flowers. Like, flowers is just not just about giving somebody what they do. Flowers is also about giving somebody to help support each other.
Yeah.
Right? Because those are the things that we need. But we as this community, as each other, we're never going to do that because we do not want to support each other. And also, I think another thing that I would say as well is that if you have a vision, if you have something that you want to do, and then you're being paused because of just like, I don't think I can do it, I'm not qualified enough, I'm not good enough, man, jump in, do it. Do it, man. If you want to open up a food company, do it.
Yeah.
Is it hard to open up a food company? Absolutely, because you got to do X, Y, and Z, all the kind of stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
But do it, man. Start it. Start like I'm the type of person, man, and I don't know why I'm like this, but maybe it's because I'm the type of person, like, whatever vision I have, whatever mind I have, I just go for it.
Right.
And sometimes, bro, my grandma always told me this. Sorry, I'm going back. My grandma always told me this. My grandma said, Caleb, go ahead, jump off the cliff. Do it. Take that step. You already know what it's like to be in the bottom.
Right.
Go ahead and take a step. What's the worst thing going to happen to you? You just want to land right back in the bottom. But you know what she says the beauty about the cliff is that you could climb back up and start all over again.
And start all over again.
Until you can fly. The beauty about the cliff is that you can climb the cliff. And once you get up top, would you have bruises? Would you have cuts? Would you have injuries? Would you have, like, you know, your bone breaking? Absolutely. But the beauty about it is that you could climb back up again and start all over till your wings begin to fly.
Yeah.
Till you begin to soar. I'm reading T.D. Jakes' book about soar, about how you soar. Like when you take that step and you're just soaring because you're a child of God. Like we were meant to be successful. We were meant to be great. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when we talk about flowers, man, give flowers to people that deserve it, man. Man, give flowers to that person that's across the street that's just been waking up 6 a.m. and then going to do business, man. Give that person that flowers, man. Give flowers to nurses. Give flowers to police officers, man. Give flowers to people that you know in your own life that are doing those professions, that are doing those things. Because, man, when you give them the flowers, man, yes, they're going to be like, wow, okay, thank you so much. But I guarantee you, when they get back in the car, when they go home, when they about to sleep, I guarantee they'd be like, wow, man, like, my friend really gave me this, right, really touched me.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like, man, that word about, even Jesus said, even the Bible says in Psalms, your word is power.
Absolutely.
Your tongue, like,
it's
your
either
mouth,
destroys or it's going to build.
It can either destroy somebody, or it build somebody. Can you imagine if I were to tell you, hey, Kingdom Podcast, man, this is the trashiest thing ever. You need to stop doing it. Right. That would hurt you. Why? Yeah. Because my word hurts you. Yeah. But if I could keep uplifting you and say, you know what, bro, Javi, you got this. Your this podcast is going to be a number one podcast in the world. This podcast is going to be this. Because, bro, the person who's the number one podcast is probably Logan Paul, right? Oh, I always tell everybody this. Remember, Logan Paul was us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Logan Paul was exactly where we were at right now. Yeah. He wasn't at the barbershop, but he was at where we was at. Yeah. It just, with Logan Paul, he was consistent. He was committed. He was determined. He was driven. And then now it got him to the number one podcast in the world. Absolutely. That's the same thing that can happen with this. Right. Is that your podcast, your podcast, yo, Javi, you got this, bro. You got this, man. You got it. I know there's times you feel weary. You're just like, bro, why am I keep doing what I'm doing? But you have, at the end of the day, you have viewers listening to you. Let's keep going. Let's go back in the drawing board and look like, okay, how can we make this better? Right. What can we do to make this podcast better? What can we do to make it great? Absolutely. Those are the things of what flowers is. You know, just give them the flowers, man. My encouragement to everybody that's listening, man, this week, this is a homework for you. Normally I don't give homework, but I'm going to give y'all homework. Bro, give somebody flowers. Absolutely. And when I mean by flowers, I'm not talking about physically. I mean, yes, physically that'd be awesome, but tell somebody. Encourage them. Just say, yo, Shirley, like, you're what you're doing right now is just amazing, Shirley. What you're doing at the barbershop. You're like, yo, Heather, like, you're an amazing writer. Like, you should be because you have no idea when you do those things begin to uplift somebody and be like, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this business.
It literally lifts people up. It's like encouragement and giving people their flowers while they're still here is literally a spark.
Yeah.
It's just a spark, and like I always picture a forest fire. And typically when you talk to the park rangers or you talk to the fire marshals, every single time, 9 times out of 10, they would say that the forest fire was started from a spark. From a little spark would start a forest fire. So why can't you be that spark to someone's life? Because you just never know what words of encouragement can lead that person to do or think or imagine or innovate or anything. Because some people just need that spark.
Yeah.
And you just don't know who needs that spark. So I always encourage people to just have meaningful conversations with substance, conversations that will uplift people. You know, yeah, we joke around here and there. We have mindless conversations and we talk about a lot of different stuff. But when it comes down to it, when we have meaningful, life-giving conversations, it should be about that spark. It should be about giving that individual flowers while they're still here and just encourage them, uplift them, and say, hey, man, I know that you wanted to have your first book out last year and it didn't happen, but guess what? You're still here.
Right.
You're still here and you're still writing. Right. So let's just put that pen into paper and do something about it.
Yeah, I think you should bring him to this next podcast. His name is Lewis, the one that does the haircut here, the one that came in and talked to me. Mm-hmm. Bro, I was just outside with him, man, and he was talking about the power of planting. Is that we as believers, we're supposed to plant the seed, not water it, not see it grow,
right? But
plant the seed. And as you was talking, it reminded me back to that conversation that he was saying. Is that when he was talking about his story? That's why I said, man, he'll be a great person to have, and just the power of planting, because there's power to planting. But when he was saying what he was saying like my action, the way I speak, the way I engage with this person,
right? What
I have done is now I have done planting. Now, from where it becomes planted, after that, that's when God let it grow. And I'm not God. I think so. I think that's what's problem with a lot of people. Is that so many times we want to be the one to grow it when we're really not designed to grow it. We're just designed to plant it. And when he said that, I was like, bro, that's so good.
It's so good.
Because the planting is just really encouraging. The planting is really being like a disciple. The planting is just uplifting somebody. That's what it's like to plant a seed. Because this worldly thing just only gives you negative. But when we plant a seed of positivity, of our action, of our love and everything, that's planting the seed. And then from there, that's where it grows. And in years to come, guess what that person's always going to remember? Man, I will never forget. I was at this barbershop, and I was outside, and I had a conversation with Lewis, and he engaged in me, and he gave me positivity.
Yeah.
And then that person will remember that for years to come. Like to this day, I still remember my people that planted a seed in me. And to this day, I still remember their name. To this day, I still know them. I still remember them. Because why? Because they planted that seed. So why am I trying to say that? Your flower can be a planted seed to somebody's career, right? It can, like, by you going to that person when I tell y'all to do that homework, by you going to that person and say, bro, like, man, your writing skills is amazing, bro. You should be a writer. You should write a book. Man, can you imagine that person uplift and starts to write books, starts to make some business, and then boom, out of nowhere, that book becomes the number one selling author in the world. Why? Because all you did was, your job was to plant the seed. Yeah. All you did was you just planted, and now you just let God to water it, and then look at that now it becomes big. These pastors who are pastors now, they would not have been pastors if somebody has not planted seed in their life. Right. Like these people, like the president who's the president of all United States, they would not have been president if somebody had not planted seed. Rappers like you listen to, as J. Cole, Kendrick, Lil Wayne, and all kinds of stuff, they would not have been rappers who rappers today if somebody did not plant a seed in their life. Every person who are successful, every person who has a thriving job, a thriving place, whatever you can name it, they all have been successful because they have been planted by one person with a seed, with one comment, with one positivity, with one engagement with them. So what I'm trying to say is that's why I'm trying to say, man, giving somebody flowers, it's not just a a light thing, giving somebody flowers can help them, uplift them, and say, you know what, you're right, man. I am capable of this. You know what, I'm grateful for this, man. I will tell you this, man. This is a text I got, and this is a seed I planted in me this week. And when he wrote this, I was like, bro, I love you. I literally love you.
Yeah.
Joe, who is Franklin's cousin.
Yeah, Joe. I saw him yesterday.
And Joe's another person you have in this podcast too.
Yeah,
Joe is the man. Hallelujah to the King, right?
Yeah, that's what he always be saying. That hallelujah to the King.
Joe literally said this, and when he said this, I was like, man, thank you, Joe. You have no idea. By your words, you done planted in me. Now I'm getting back to it.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting back to not the grind, but I'm getting back to what I love now.
Yeah.
And that I love ministry. He said this. He said, hey, my brother, I love you, man, and I miss you. Would love to see you sometime. This is Joe from Monday Night Prayer Bible Study. In case you don't have me, saving your phone. There's nobody like you. Always remember you're special. Cherish saying one of a kind. Love you, bro. Bro, he said that so simple of words to him. Yeah. But it gave me so much life. Right. Because Joe, what if Joe knows or don't know what I'm going through? Those words done uplift me. Those words done told me, you know what? I need to stop what I'm doing right now. And I need to get back to it. Yeah. I need to get back to what I love. Yeah. Yeah, some people, like I'll be real, some people tell me I'm not qualified to be a pastor. Some people are telling me I'm not qualified to be this leader. But you know what? That text message that Joe sent, it was exactly all I needed to hear to now be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm great. I got somebody who done planted in me. I got somebody who done put a seed in me. Now I get to do what I'm meant to do. Now I get to do what God has called me to do. Why? Yeah. Because that's what encouraging is. That's what it looks like, man, and that's what it does, man. Like, so that's why you never want to talk bad about somebody, and then when they die, you be like, oh my gosh, let me tell you, man, this person, he was so amazing in my life. Yeah. But your whole life, you was just talking so bad about him. Yeah. You was talking crap behind his back. Yeah. You was saying all this stuff behind his back. You was talking prejudice and mean.
And sometimes it doesn't even have to be that extreme that you were talking and beefing, and once upon a time you were friends, but then all of a sudden you had a fallout, and then you're no longer friends, so now you're beefing. It could also be subtle things, like let's say you guys are friends, but you drifted apart because of life. You know, life sometimes drift people apart, and that's okay. However, it's not okay to completely leave them and no longer have some type of communication with that person, because then it's going to result into some type of division, some type of fallout, because that kind of, I feel that, this is just my personal opinion, I feel that when you get to those places with friends or even boyfriend, girlfriends or stuff like that, when you get to that place, all you're doing is just detaching yourself from them. Right. So you're detaching yourself from them, and you're no longer loving on them, so you no longer have that same level of love anymore that you once had. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't have that level of love anymore that you once didn't have, the relationship turns sour, right. And then it turns to a non-relationship. Like you have no relationship at all. But then what happens? That person tragically dies for XYZ reason. Right. Then you're living in regret. You're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they passed away. Right. And now you feel some kind of way because you start living in the, oh, I shoulda, I coulda, oh, if only I woulda. You're living in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and now you're kind of like in that place where like, man, if I only had one day with that person to just say I'm sorry, or to accept their apology, or to just give them my last words of encouragement, but it's too late. They're gone. Yeah. You were so caught up in your departure. You were so caught up in your detachment. You were so caught up of y'all falling out of love, quote unquote. And then they pass, and you're like, man, we didn't reconcile. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, man, we didn't bury the hatchet, if you will, right. Or man, we didn't squash the beef. Right. And then you out of respect, you got to go to their funeral, right. In their wake service, and hear all these beautiful things about this person, and then you are going to want to say these beautiful things about this person. You know what I'm saying? but it's too late.
Right.
It's too late, you know, and I don't ever want to be in that place where I feel like, man, it's too late. I don't have the opportunity. I feel like I got robbed of the opportunity to reconcile with this person, to say I love you one last time, to forgive them, to accept their apology. You know, all these things, you don't have an opportunity no longer because they're no longer here.
Right.
So I just want to push that narrative that, yeah, it's a little difficult. Some people find it very difficult to say I'm sorry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that just have a hard time saying I'm sorry.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have a hard time forgiving. You know what I'm saying? But I would encourage those who are listening that if you find yourself that you're troubled with forgiving someone, you find it hard to say I'm sorry to someone and things like that, I encourage you to just look at your life a little bit in a bigger, broader, bigger picture, and just say, okay, life is literally way too short for me to hold grudges, for me to hold any type of resentment, for me to hold any type of bitterness, because life is literally too short, and I don't know when that person's last day on earth is going to be.
Right.
So let me have my time. Let me have my time to just process this. But sooner or later, I have to forgive this person. Yeah. Sooner or later, I have to reconcile with this person. Or sooner or later, I have to say I'm sorry to this person. You know what I'm saying? And then the next phase of that is giving those flowers to that person while they're still here.
Yeah. So here's TiVo. Look at TiVo.
Yo, TiVo.
Oh boy.
TiVo's here remotely at the podcast.
I just wanted to call TiVo and let TiVo know, number one, you look beautiful. Number two, you're the best dad ever. You're an amazing dad. You're killing the game. And then number three, you're a great barber. The way how you cut hair is amazing. And you're a great barber. Keep going what you're doing. Keep growing. Keep advancing. Keep being the most motivational speaker that you are doing. If everybody don't know, just follow TiVo. He's a great motivational speaker.
He's been on the podcast.
The way how he speaks, he's killing the game. And I just want to say I appreciate you and grateful for you, for all you do, bro. And don't stop. Keep grinding. Yeah. You look beautiful sometimes.
Let me show some love to TiVo. TiVo, what's good, bro? You're literally remotely featured on the podcast right now. Yeah, so we just wanted to give you the topic of the conversation is giving people their flowers while they're still here to smell them. So we just wanna encourage people and give people their flowers while they're still here, because we do understand that we are earthly beings living an earthly experience, because we have a due date. We all have due dates. We don't know when we're going to be gone, but while we're here, we have to appreciate those who are around us, who are doing big things, and we just want to encourage those people, bro. And you're obviously one of those people in our lives, man. Yeah. And you got to get back on the podcast soon, bro. Yeah. I know. But you're doing a great job, bro. Yeah. But let's get together soon. Maybe this weekend we'll work out, hit the pool or something. All right, here's Caleb. All right, I love you, bro. All right. Yeah, that was...
bro. Hey, we do gotta talk about that thing though. If you know what I'm talking about. I'm out, bro. I'll let you go. All right.
You see, that's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes is a FaceTime call, a text, regular. If you don't got an iPhone, a regular phone call will do. Just do that, man.
Just reach out, man.
I guarantee you, TiVo right now is feeling 100 times better than what he was feeling prior to that FaceTime call.
You know? And he now feels motivated. and now he not feels good, and he's gonna remember that.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people, man, like, just your homework, man. Literally find one person and just say, wow, bro, what you're doing is amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop what you're doing. Keep advancing. Keep impacting. Keep doing what you're doing, because you got it, man. You're there. You're at the finish line. You know, don't stop, man.
Yeah.
Don't lose the light. You know, keep pressing forward, and that's my encouragement, man.
Yeah.
It's like people deserve their flowers. You know, people deserve it.
And also, just a shift of perspective, if you happen to be that person that, and I'm not judging you, but if you happen to be that person that has trouble accepting the flowers, that has trouble accepting words of affirmation, that just has trouble just receiving encouragement, compliments, if you happen to be that person, I want to pray for you, and I just want to encourage you to allow that to be a blessing. Maybe don't call it a compliment, because maybe that may be triggering. Maybe you just don't like compliments. Maybe you don't like that word compliment. Maybe you don't like the word giving flowers. Maybe you don't like certain terminologies. One terminology that we unitedly can accept is the word blessing. Right. If you call yourself a Christian, if you believe in God, if you believe that Jesus is your Lord and Savior of your life, remember that the words of encouragement, the compliments, the flowers that are giving to you are blessings. Right. So don't block the blessings that you're receiving from your friends, from your co-workers, from people at your church. Those are all blessings. Those are all words of that are edifying, that are edifying you, that are blessing you. So just receive them as such, okay, guys? Yeah. So remember, if you just have trouble with receiving compliments, you don't know how to receive compliments because it gets awkward for you, or you're just socially awkward when it comes to those things, just remember that those are blessings. Most certainly, at bare minimum, they're definitely blessings. And I know that a lot of different conversations for me that I've had in the past, even most recently, like certain conversations that I have with people who have the best in mind, the best, at heart for me, I take it very serious and very personal, because I know that those conversations are uplifting, they're life-giving, they're encouraging, and they just give me insight and perspective as to how I should navigate through life. When you have conversations with your buddies, with your friends, with those who you call brothers and sisters in Christ, or even family, when they encourage you in that way, remember that they're just literally shifting your perspective. They're making you look at life one way and giving it a God lens. Okay? Because sometimes we get caught up in looking at life in a worldly lens, where it's like, woe is me, I blew it, I can't believe I'm here, I don't know what to do, I'm actually doubting myself now. Right. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be at this place in my life. I don't know if God wants me to go in that direction. All those things are looking at your life and what you're going through a worldly lens. And I've been there. Recently, I've been there as well. But when you have these conversations with people who are praying over you, people who are literally about this life, and they give you godly counsel, words of affirmation, scripture, Bible, Jesus, when they're giving you all of this, it's literally shifting your perspective and looking at your life in a godly lens. And when you start looking at life in that lens, things will start changing for you. Maybe not right away, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, but at least what you said earlier, at least it will plant a seed. Whatever that seed may be, whether it be a seed of encouragement, a seed of reconciliation, a seed of motivation, a seed of forgiveness, a seed of whatever, fill in the blank, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally planting a seed. These conversations are to be had because it plants seeds in you. And it fires you up, just like it fired you up.
Yeah.
When Joe hit you up.
Yeah. And Joe's not even the only one that gives me encouragement.
I do too.
Yeah, you give me encouragement too, Javi. Look at it. His own podcast. Javi definitely gives me encouragement. Pastor Daniel, Pastor Charlton, Roxy, Franklin,
Erica,
Aaron, so on, man. I can name so many people that gives me encouragement. Albert, and those are encouragement.
Tyler.
Tyler. Like those are encouragement that I would like every encouragement I get. Believe it or not, I even write it down. I even write down the encouragement to remember myself that do I am. Like, bro, like people don't understand, man. Like, the same way. This is why it's so important. If you don't listen to this, at least listen to this part. The reason why it's so important to give your flowers, because we're so used to getting dead flowers. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna be used to hearing, Caleb, you're not great. Hey Caleb, like I was used to for so many years hearing that, hey Caleb, like you're not a great speaker, or hey Caleb, like you're not built for youth ministry, or hey Caleb, like you're not a great hooper. Like we're your problem is we're so used to dead flowers, and we become numb to the smell of the dead flowers. We become numb to the looks of the dead flowers, so that every time we get a real flower and the positive flower, we're just like, oh my gosh, like I just got positive. But those are things I'm just trying to remind you is that there's two things. One, the reason why you're getting dead flowers is probably because of the people you are around with too many times that are giving you dead flowers. Which is that this is why you need to fix your community and fix the people who you are in. And then two, you become too numb to accept those dead flowers, right? And for me, man, like it was one of those things I was just kind of like, you know what, I ain't accepting no more dead flowers. Like okay, you want to say I'm not a great hooper? All right, bet. Let me show you. You know, like don't accept it. You know, because you're not meant to carry those dead flowers. You're not meant to carry those dead waves. Right. And I think that's so important that you need to listen to this because you're meant more. Like if you're not getting no flowers, I want to give you flowers right now. Whoever's listening to this that are writers, like keep on writing. Whoever is right now studying pre-law that's trying to be a lawyer, don't stop being a lawyer. Whoever's listening right now, that is the next person, that is the next speaker, that is the next communicator, that is the next pastor. Keep on going. If you're right now, you're feeling inspired right now to do a podcast, do that podcast. If you're feeling inspired to write an album, to write singles, write that single. If you are right now, you want to be a stay-home mom and a loving mom to love your kids, be a stay-home mom. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let the calculation be the accuracy of your life. No, you're worth more. You're great. You're talented. You're extremely. You're qualified. You're worthy. You are called more. You are called by God, not by man. You are here for this moment, and God has designed you and has set you up for a greater purpose that anybody could ever face. You have somebody that you need to reach out to that we can't reach out to. You have a platform that you can reach out to those people that none of us can reach out to. Yeah. So if you are watching this, if you are listening to this on your car, going to work, going like right now cooking, whatever it is, just know you are called, you are amazing, you are worthy, you are special. For somebody who thinks they're ugly, you are not ugly, you are beautiful, you are extraordinary, you are talented. If you're trying to be a rapper, be a singer. Don't stop what you're doing because you got this. You are made more. You are made for this, man. You are made for this. Amen.
And we could just go home now, bro. You just preached and took us to church, bro. Woo! But yeah, man, that's that. I mean, amen to that. I second that. I third that. I fourth that. I mean, that is, man, that was great. That was good. But yeah, guys, just keep going, keep pushing, be legendary. Because if not you, then who? You know what I'm saying? If not you, then who? That's right. You know, everybody has an audience. Yep. Don't feel that you're disqualified. Don't feel that you feel that, oh, I don't know enough people. Trust me, you don't need to know people. You know what I'm saying? Get your stuff out there. People are going to get to know you because of the work that you put in. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. That's right. That's good. But yeah, I hope that encourages a lot of people that listen to the podcast. If you are currently listening and viewing the podcast on YouTube, you guys, sorry the guys that are listening on Spotify and Apple, But the guys that are listening and viewing on YouTube, we are here to unveil the surprise that was made and gifted for me. Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over.
It is really dope. I'm about to get one. I already got his number. I don't even know if I'm allowed to give his number.
Oh my gosh, this thing is.
This thing is so sexy. Look at that.
Look at that, guys.
Bro, like he.
Look at that.
I don't know if you can see it like that, but I saw it legit like that. Like this here is incredible. Like, do you see that? Like, do I have to move to a little bit to the left?
Just zoom right in.
You can zoom right. Kingdom, like Javi, did you ever thought you would get something like this? Like, come on, Javi. Like,
no, man.
This is fire, bro. Like, Javi friend made this, and if I have to be honest, he went above and beyond. Like just how it feels, like the texture of it is so great. Like I ain't gonna lie, like the way how it feels so smooth, so soft. Like he went in, man. And I know Javi's gonna put his information down on the tab on the link.
Yeah.
And Javi can tell you more about his friend, but bro, this right. I even told him that I'm buying 2 of them already. So
yeah. So this beautiful piece here was made by a gentleman, a dear friend of mine that I've known before I even got saved. His name is Socrates, but we call him Soki for short. He is up and coming designer. He does a lot of signs like this. He is local to the Palm Beach County area. So if you guys are local and you want something like this, or maybe something smaller for your garage, for your game room.
If you're out of local, hopefully he'll do Etsy.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to leave his email information, his telephone information. He is working on relaunching his Instagram page. So once that is available, probably on the next episode, I will share that information. But this is a sign that he felt like he needed to make for me, for the show, for the people. He's a longtime listener. He's been supporting the show for a while now. And he just felt that he wanted to gift this for me, and I love it. And again, I will share his contact information for those that want a sign for whatever, even if it's he'll make anything. If it's for a business, if you have a beauty salon, if you have a nail salon, if you have a real estate office, anything that you want to do. If you're into carpentry and you want something, if you're into fishing and you want a sign for your boat, he will make anything for you. You just give him the specs, give him your ideas, and he'll come up with a design that will fit your liking. And man.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting one. I'm super excited.
So he does all kinds of sign, guys. All kinds of signs.
This is so
yeah. So thank you, Socrates, Soki.
For real,
this
bro.
was fire.
Soki,
you did above and beyond. You outdid yourself, bro. So I really appreciate it.
Fire. Now this is flowers, bro. Soki, you deserve the flowers.
Yes. So he's giving me flowers, but I'm giving it right back to him, man. You got to reciprocate that, guys. You got to reciprocate that.
It was better than I thought it would be. I was like, wow.
Yeah, this was so dope. But I love it. I'm so thankful for it. I'm actually moved by it. So thank you, Soki, for even considering doing a sign for me. I was never actually thinking of ever getting a sign for the show.
Well, how crazy is that? You got your own.
I got my own sign, man.
Own sign, bro. Literally, you got your own sign.
That is crazy.
This is
crazy.
Wow.
But guys, stay tuned for the next episode. I'm going to be doing it with a special guest. I'm not going to reveal it today.
I don't even know who it is.
He doesn't even know who it is, but it's a special guest. We actually named him by name during this episode, so there's a clue. But I can't wait to have that episode with him. It's going to be fire. But yeah. But like always, guys, be the light, be the encouraging light, be the light in the darkness. It changed someone's life by just having a simple conversation. Push that narrative that you're giving flowers to those who are still here while they still can smell them. Until next time, guys, we'll see you next week for a new episode of Kingdom Talks podcast, guys. We love you. Peace.